Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Pleasant. I'm the Director of Student Services here at the Southern Campus, and on behalf of Dr. Teresa McKenzie, the coordinator of this event, I want to welcome you to our annual Veterans Day tribute. At this time, we'll have the singing of our national anthem by Dr. Kim Keffer. Please stand if you're able, followed by a moment of silence.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Morning, everyone. I am Debbie Marinsky, and I'm the interim dean of the Southern Campus. And it is with great pride and gratitude that I welcome each of you to our annual celebration of our veterans. Today, we commemorate and honor the remarkable men and women who have donned uniforms and left behind the comfort and security of their homes to serve this country. They gave up the warmth of a home-cooked meal and the embrace of loved ones to safeguard the very principles that define us as a society. The sacrifices and immense contributions made by our veterans can never be overstated. Throughout history, and I'm a historian, throughout history, countless brave souls have faced adversity, served on the front lines, and endured physical and emotional strain to defend our liberties, which to me exemplifies heroism in its purest form. Our veterans have exhibited immense strength and courage in the face of unimaginable challenges. Their devotion to duty is unparalleled, as they ensured our safety and protected the freedoms we often take for granted. So today, it is our honor to express our heartfelt appreciation and admiration for the selfless service and sacrifices made by those men and women who fought and those who continue to fight for our liberty. Their acts of valor prove their unwavering determination and dedication to our nation, and also serves as a positive example for current and future generations. I also want to extend my gratitude to our veterans' families and loved ones and friends who have stood by their side, provided support, and also sacrificed along the way. I would like to thank Dr. Teresa McKenzie, who unfortunately could not be here with us today, but she was instrumental in organizing today's event. I would like to thank all of you for participating, and I would also like to thank the Quilting Guild members of Material Hugs. The members of Material Hugs have tirelessly created handmade quilts of immense beauty and warmth to be bestowed upon our deserving veterans to remind them that their sacrifices have not gone unnoticed and to ensure that they feel the love and appreciation of a grateful nation. I am inspired by the compassion and creativity of those involved in this incredible endeavor, and am so proud of their efforts in recognizing our veterans. Let us always remember that the freedoms we enjoy today rest upon the sacrifices made by our noble veterans. Their bravery, resilience, and dedication have paved the way for a brighter future. May we always honor and cherish their service, not just today, but every day. And may we continue to stand by their side, ensuring that they receive the support and gratitude they so richly deserve. My warmest thank you to all of you, to all of our veterans, and it is my sincerest hope that you enjoy today's celebration. So thank you and welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Grubbs. I'm a success advisor here at Ohio University Southern, and I am honored and privileged to be able to be part of this event today and this tribute to our veterans. I am pleased to introduce a small portion of the documentary created by Ernie Hall, an adjunct professor, production assistant with our electronic media department, and Dr. Teresa McKenzie, our accessibility services and veteran services coordinator. During COVID, Dr. Kim Keffer, Dr. Mickey Crawford, Professor Emeriti, and Dr. Martha Evans told a story in a small portion of Material Hugs Quality Quilting Guild story. I could tell you about the Quilts of Valor. I could tell you about how important they are. I would fail to do them justice, so instead I would much rather hear from them. So with that said, please enjoy this presentation.
Being in the service instills some values, knowing what it means to be an American, to sacrifice for others, and realizing what freedom is.
I became involved in Quilt of Valors because I have an aunt who was awarded one. Now, my aunt is 98 years old and was a nurse in World War II. She was at the beach in Omaha. She helped clean out Buchenwald. She was at the Battle of the Bulge. So to me, she is this wonderful female heroine that has been a part of my life for my entire life. And she was awarded a Quilt of Valor, and it got my attention because she was so honored and so touched that people were remembering her experiences.
My dad was in the Air Force, my brother was in the Air Force, my other brother was in the Army, I was married to a man in the Air Force. So military's always been very familiar for me.
The first quilt I made for the husband of a good friend. And she was really touched by that.
When Kim Keffer made that quilt for my husband, I saw that old leather neck light up like it was Christmas, and I knew at that time I had to be part of it.
It started in 2003. The founder had a dream, and her child was in, I believe it was in Iraq, and he was in the military, and she actually had a nightmare about a soldier, not her son, but a soldier. And in this nightmare, she saw this young man, and he was distraught, emotionally exhausted and distraught. And in her dream, someone wrapped a quilt around him. And she woke up and thought, you know, I could do that. As soon as we decided to form a guild, the pandemic hit. And so we never got a chance to meet face to face to do this. But in the summer, when the weather got nice, there were a group of us that met at a local park.
It is really kind of a cool park, because if you look one direction, you see Kentucky, and you look a different direction, you'll see West Virginia. We were sitting in Ohio, and there were rivers that separated us, and there's a picnic shelter there. So we would wear a mask, and we did it even when it was cold weather, because we could talk about the patterns we'd found.
Quilts of Valor meet specific standards in terms of size, typically made with patriotic colors, but do not have to be.
So you've mentioned that these are examples of modern and traditional. Why is this traditional and why is that modern? What makes them different?
Well, part of it, probably the most obvious thing that you're going to notice when you look at them, is the fabric selection.
Okay.
Color selection, the prints. This one, if you look at this, is like a Williamsburg blue. It's not white, it's vanilla. And then more of a cranberry. And it's set up in blocks. Our quilt guild is called Material Hugs, because that's what we're doing, is we're hugging you with the product of our work.
As we select a design, as we select material, cut, piece, pin, it's with hopes that veterans will know that we appreciate the sacrifice that they gave for our country. And it's just a small token, a reminder, and it's with great respect that I say thank you for your service.
I'm very humbled, just as the rest of the recipients are, and just like Teresa, I feel like, why me? And I'm grateful.
It's very, very rewarding.
Extremely well done. And with that said, I would like to invite Material Hugs Quilting Guild Group 78489.
I didn't think I'd be brought up with a drum roll, but it's nice. Well, good morning. First, I want to introduce myself. I am Kim Keffer. I'm joined by my friends and colleagues, Martha Evans and Mickey Crawford. And I want to thank Dr. Marinsky, Mr. Pleasant, and Teresa McKenzie for asking us to be part of this today. We are so privileged to be participating. It means a great deal to us. As members of Material Hugs, we are 3 of more than 10,000 volunteers who produce quilts for Quilts of Valor. 10,000 volunteers. It has now spread into Canada, and they produce quilts for Canadian and British veterans, and it is continuing to spread. It is a gift of love and very meaningful to us. So as we go through the program today, we want you to know that the quilts are just one way of us saying to you, thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. There are 3 of our veterans who could not be with us today, but we'll be honoring them in private ceremonies within the next few days. Those quilts will be awarded to a U.S. Army veteran, Marvin Freeman, an Army Nurse Corps veteran, Susan Buckles, and U.S. Army veteran Leland Spears. So Although they can't be with us today, we want to recognize them and know that they will be awarded. Quilts of Valor has now awarded over 350,000 quilts in a period of about 20 years. We are not going to award that many today. But we are going to be awarding 8 quilts in today's ceremony. Each recipient will receive a quilt that was created, pieced, and quilted by members of our group. We want you to know that it brings us great joy to honor you. And we want you to know that as we make the quilts, we are thinking of the veterans that they're being made for. And I can tell you in all honesty that it sometimes gets pretty emotional because we are so thankful. And we can't begin to understand the sacrifices you made, but we still are thankful for them. As we call you forward, each veteran will come forward and we'll share some information about them. We're going to give them an opportunity to speak as well. They'll be presented with a certificate from Quilts of Valor, a token from the university, and a small gift from our group. And then we will reveal the quilt to them first, so they will stand where you see the back and they see the front. They should get to see it before anybody else. And then we'll wrap them in the quilt, because after all, it is a material hug.
Thank you needs to be said to everyone here, particularly these ladies and to the veterans that are here, and to my wife Phyllis. We shared 16 of my 20 years, held things together while I was gone for 6 months at a time. And to her I say thank you, and thank you all.
to say thank you to every person who's here. Thank you to the families. Thank you to our military members. Everyone makes a sacrifice in one way or another. As a military dependent, I understand that those nights that you go to bed alone because you're worried about whether your mate is coming back or not are stressful, and that's certainly a sacrifice. Military members put their own safety at risk, and my dad was in the Air Force during the Korean conflict, and he will say, if you talk to him about it, he'll say, well, I didn't make any sacrifices because I worked at a desk. But the support people are also making sacrifices because they said when they signed on the dotted line, I am willing to go where you send me and put my life on the line for my American citizens, for the other people that live in this country. And if you're willing to do that, whether you're flipping pancakes or whether you're working at a desk pushing papers, the fact that you were willing to do it is huge. So let's not discount any job that someone had in the military. Kim said the other day, and she says sometimes it wouldn't be unusual for us to shed tears while working on our quilts. She said something the other day that I hadn't even thought about. She said, think how stressful it must be for the people who manage the bodies in a conflict, in a combat situation. I hadn't even thought about that. But day after day after day, to know that you're sending parts of someone home to the people who love them. And so, that's certainly sacrifice. The ceremony is complete, and we invite you to have pictures made with your family and friends. We've taken pictures through as the members have received their quilts, and we're happy to share that with you. But if you want to take pictures afterward, we invite you to do that, and we'll take pictures and text them to you or however that works. But thank you again for being here. I can personally say, and I think it's probably pretty true of the other ladies too, that as we lovingly create quilts for you to have, they're prayed over. So if you're a person of faith, that means something to you. If you're not, it won't hurt you. So thank you for being here.
First, let me say thank you to the Material Guild, Quilting Guild, for your willingness to include Ohio University Southern in honoring veterans. I want to say personally, I'm a son of a veteran, and so this is personal for me as well. So I want to say to all veterans and their families, thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifice. Each year, the Southern Campus takes time to reflect on the service of our veterans. This year, we chose to reflect and honor those veterans in a tangible way. So to all of our honorees, to all veterans, we say thank you for your service. But as we conclude this program, we want to invite you to reception. We invite you to take photos. We also want to invite you over to our Bowman Auditorium lobby area where we have a Veterans Tribute Wall. That reflects all of Ohio University Southern's military families, and students who are involved in the military. It's over in the lobby area in front of the Bowman Auditorium. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this special celebration, this special day. So thank you. Please enjoy refreshments.